May the words of my mouth and the meditation of mine heart be acceptable in Yahweh's sight. He is our strength and our redeemer, and it's in his name, which is his authority, that we pray, praise, proclaim, project, and protect today's message. Amen. Welcome. I'm Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time by being a voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. And we invite you to come on in today, spend a little bit of time with us. We'll take about half an hour and just speak on something real quick. We thank you for your presence. We give our praise and honor once again to Yahweh Elohim. We give our praise and honor to him for my wife, the Honorable Maya, who lives a life that's able to be honored. You can check her out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. I'm thankful and grateful to be on in front of you guys again. One more again this evening. Hopefully you guys are doing well, staying safe out here. Yeah, got a little chilly today. So I'm actually warming up the room. Went from rain to sun came out to cold winds all of a sudden. But we're thankful and grateful to be on here with you guys. Hopefully y'all are doing well. And so we're thankful and grateful to everybody on YouTube, everybody on TikTok. We appreciate you. Let's say hello real quick to everybody. How you doing? Sister Betty, Sister Monica, Sister Nadine, Irena, Sister Deborah, and everybody who's coming on. We appreciate you so very much. Sherilyn, everybody who's on with us today. I wanted to talk about give them something worth remembering. I really wanted to say give them something worth remembrance. I seem to be getting a lot of stuff that says that remembrance is not a word. So maybe it's an ancient word that we should use more of. But I'll play nice today. Give them something worth remembering. How you doing, Drea? Give them something worth remembering. Now, if you remember, or if you can recall, because recall is not remember, even though we think it is. How you doing, Sister Cynthia? A lot of us have a mindset that, we forget that being a member of something causes you to be dismembered, or will allow you to either be dismembered, or being dismembered for something will cause you to be remembered. Right? How you doing, Shnett? See, we're all members of the body. And something happened to where we were dismembered. But now we're trying to be remembered, come back into who we are. Right? Okay, so Cynthia, I see. Right. And thank you again for your love. Appreciate you. Right. And how you doing, Minister Tamara? Right. So give them something worth remembering. I don't mind tonight. I didn't mean to do this. As a matter of fact, I didn't think I was going to be talking about this until right before we came on. But I think one of the things that I can say that's causing me to be successful, right? I still don't have stuff laid out for my grandchildren yet to leave the way that I need to. So I can't say that I'm successful yet, because remember, in order to be a success, you have to have successors. I'm on my way though. So I'm speaking in faith right now. Right. My hope is in being a successor. I'm living in it in faith, and therefore it's going to manifest, right? How you doing, Sister Helen? But if I might pat myself on the back just a little bit. Thank you. Appreciate the compliment out there. If I might just do a little bit of this tonight, I can say that I'm doing things that are causing success, right? And by following a blueprint, following what the Most High has for us, for our family, and even for our community. And looking at the blueprint, all I'm looking at is what the Most High drew out. He gave me the parameters. He said, this is what you do. He said, this is the law that you obey. This is how you treat your wife. This is how you treat yourself. This is how you treat your body. This is how you treat your children. And so in going through that now, and how you doing, Carnita? Thanks for being part of the community. And moving in that, how you doing, Brother Alton, as well? Ms. Pierce, how you doing? Shalom. Hopefully everything's going well with the transition back into the normal routine. In doing those things, I'm starting to realize that all I'm doing is coming back into membership of what I'm supposed to do. And in living it, in teaching it, in being obedient to this membership and what this membership demands of myself. All I'm doing is giving people something to remember. And I'm following the blueprint. As often as you do this, Yahshua said, do this in remembrance of me. Whenever you do this, you bring me, you come back into membership with me, right? I'm just following the blueprint. How you doing, her 3802? How you doing, Sister Jeanette? So as often as I do what I do, I'm doing it to be remembered, to come back into membership with the Most High. And as much as we think that we're perfect, any sin causes us to be dismembered. That's why repentance is necessary and forgiveness is necessary. And so I have to ask for forgiveness, even of the things I don't know that I do. I know that I do things that frustrate people all the time. I'm not perfect. My goal is to make sure, though, that I always come back into remembrance, right? How you doing, babe? My wife is on. As always, check out my wife, the Honorable Maya, on TikTok, YouTube, or website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish, not A-N-D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She's a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. Thanks for being on, babe. Love you very much. Excellent teacher as well. We'll be teaching herbalism 1 tonight. But I've learned to give people something to remember. In other words, something that somebody who feels dismembered from who they are, from their community, can be able to help them to come back in and be remembered again. Give them something worth remembering. How you doing, Sister Latoya? Give them something worth remembering. When I think about my mother, I think about the dismembership, or the dismember. Yeah, I guess we could say that dismembership. I don't know if that's a word, but y'all know what I mean. And when she passed, right? But whenever I do what I do, is because she taught it to me. And so by being obedient to what she taught me, right, I remember, right? Even when I can't recall her voice, I'm trying to reinvite it into my mind. I can't recall it, but I can always remember it. Because even if I can't hear the frequency at the time, I feel her. You know what I'm saying? She left a legacy. All she did was leave me something to remember. Right? And how you doing, Sister Sonia? How you doing, Sister Rhonda? She left me something to remember. How you doing, Big Brother Thomas? And so always leave people with something to remember. That's the key. Amen, Sister Monica. And how you doing? If I didn't say so already. That's the key, is always leave people something to remember, to bring them back into membership. And that's something that I praise Yah, that my family really, we do very well. And my SOC family included in that, right? You feel the same way about your mom? Yeah. That's something that we do very well. We remember. Leave something to remember. How you doing, set apart for Yah? Leave something for people that brings them back into relationship with the Most High, brings them back into relationship with themselves, brings them back into relationship with the community. Watch this. What does education mean? Education is literally when you become a person, or you deal with a place or a thing, right? But as a person, let's just deal with the person. Your education is supposed to be that I should be able to reach inside of you, pull out the potential that's there, right? Show it to you, place it back inside and say, now let's reach what it is that you've seen. So the rest of your existence, if I'm the teacher and you're the student, is what? My goal is to make sure that you can get back in membership with what you saw. Always leave somebody something to remember. Let that be your goal, right? As you continue to go through 2023, which for us at SOC is when we're going to look beyond what we see. Coming to remembrance. And how you doing, sister? Also, if I didn't say so already, how you doing, Robert? Thanks for being part of the community. Robert 777W. We appreciate you. How you doing, Tori? Right? Give people something to remember you by. To be able to come back into remembrance, which also means you have to be able to be accessible for people to be able to come into relationship with. You have to foster relationships in order for people to remember. And I'm talking about recall. It's easy to recall. It's oftentimes, actually, I'll take that back. Let me say it like this. A lot of times, believe it or not, it's actually easier to remember than it is to recall. See, remember the word call means to invite. Hey, come on over. To recall is just, hey, come on over again. But to remember means that we come back into family. How you doing, Brother Henry? Leave something that makes somebody feel like family. People aren't buying what they recalled from the store. Let me help out the business owners on here tonight. People aren't right, and the people who are about to start doing their own live sessions, and you're going to become social media influencers, and you're going to do things on a grand level, and someday you're going to make little old Kofi's numbers look like nothing, right? For those of you who are going to surpass me in this thing, let me go ahead and help you out on your journey. And how you doing, Sister Shima? Right? Those of you who are going to surpass me in teaching, those of you who are going to be able to become great husbands in your own right, and those who are going to be great sons in your own right, and those who are going to learn, what we're dealing with in the foundation of a lot of stuff we're teaching, you're going to take it to the next level. Allow me to be able to just give you a little something, right? People don't buy into stuff because they recall it. People buy into stuff because they remember it. Right. And thank you for the love. That's going to bless somebody if you get that. People don't buy into stuff because they recall it, because they can be able to tell you everything that happened. But a lot of people will buy into how they feel about it, how it made them feel when they were by themselves, when they were out there and nobody else loved them. But you showed them love. Your product made them feel like it was there. The gift that you had made them feel human again. Salah. See, don't worry about recalling. People go, man, you have excellent recall and you've got this and you've got that. I promise you, there's more people that remember what I do than recall it. Because we'll be in class and I'll think, okay, yeah, these students, they've been with us 2 years, 3 years. They've been with us several years. They know this, they know that, right? And I'll say something, they don't recall it. They want you to help them with the recall, but they didn't show up because they recalled it. They showed up because they remember it. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Right. And I'm not trying to say, and I know I'm patting myself on the back, and sometimes you got to encourage yourself. So I don't mind doing so, but that's not what I'm trying to get you to see. Whatever your calling is, right? It's your calling. You focus on recalling, right? You focus on your calling, but people aren't coming to you just because of your call. They're coming to you because they remember. See, the fruit that you give, right? Watch this. Watch this. I know you like the taste of pears. You like the taste of bananas, right? You like the taste of oranges. You like the taste. But I promise you, what you're really going after once you've tasted it and seen about it, what you're really going back for is that you want it to become part of your body again. You remember it, how it made you feel, right? That's what happens. Dr. Miles Monroe once said that you never ever seen a tree show up to your door, knock on the door, and say, "Hey, would you like some of my fruit?" Once you've tasted the fruit, you'll go find it at the store, in nature, right? You might go to another country and hope to find it. Whatever the case might be, you'll pay extra for it. You'll pay extra to find the natural version of it. Why? Because you're after the fruit. Right? You're after the fruit because of how you want that remembering. You're not worried about the recall. Your taste buds change every 2 weeks. Your taste buds don't really recall what something tastes like. I know that's what you think, but your taste buds don't recall what Brussels sprouts tasted like 25 years ago, 38 years ago, 50 years ago when you were a child and you didn't like them. Your taste buds don't recall that. They don't. Come on, right? But see, your body says, I remember that feeling. See, your body doesn't recall. It's like when you're addicted to something, your body doesn't recall what sugar does and blah blah this and that. Your mind does, your brain does, excuse me, your brain does. But see, you can come out of it because your body wants to be remembered. It wants to come back. It wants to be whole again. So your body, when it sees you going away from sugar, your recall is trying to take over. But if you hang in there, what's going to outlast it is going to be your remembrance. Ooh, I remember what it was like to not have to be addicted, right? We're going through a fast right now for this week through next Thursday evening, right? And that's when February 23rd, we're going to start doing what? We're going to start making sure that we get to start removing leaven from our home. And you're going to find that you're going to be thinking, man, leaven's in this and leaven's in that and blah, blah. And you're going to recall certain things. But after a while, the recall is going to give way to remembrance. Your body's going to say, ooh, not having leaven actually works out pretty well for me for a while. While you're fasting for this next week, you're going to recall, ooh, yeah, this stuff actually kind of works better for me. Wow, it's nice that I don't have to like digest 3, 4, 5, 6 meals a day. I'm sorry, you call some snacks, excuse me. So 3 meals a day and then snacks, midnight snack in between, break snack, soda, we don't count soda as food, but you're eating sugar and high fructose corn syrup and things, that your body's not ready to receive, let alone receive. But you're going to have an experience. You're going to say to yourself, oh, right? The remembrance outlasts the recall. So leave people stuff to remember. See, because if you're looking for somebody to recall you, and a lot of y'all get in relationships like that, not just marital relationships, but you get in a relationship with friends and family, you take on positions, you do all types of stuff, and you go, hey, when do I well, we already started. We're doing intermittent fasting, so from sun up to sundown. We started today. We'll stop doing intermittent fasting, so not eating from sun up to sundown, or from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. depending on where you are, because I know that can be different for different people where you're located in the world. But yeah, you're gonna be surprised that your body says, "Oh, I like," and then this is gonna be the second one of the year. What's gonna happen to you? Your body's gonna say, "Ooh, I like this." There's a remembrance. There's a remembrance about this. Amen, Sister Tori. We all got things we struggle with, right? And that's why we got to leave something to remember. You said you realize different things while fasting. You see what you're thinking about more clearly. Right? So we want to leave something to remember, right? Leave them something worth remembering, not recalling, remembering, right? Give them something to remember. People are not buying your product because they recall everything about your product. People are not buying your product because they read the manual, right? You're buying the product because it brings something to your remembrance. For better or for worse, you got your phone because of remembrance. Why? All my numbers are written there. I can take it anywhere I want to go. Right? Right? I can take it anywhere I want to go. I can do anything I want to do with it. I can put whatever apps. I can change the home screen. I can do whatever I want. It looks like me. It feels like me. It's about remembrance. I felt like I had some accountability over something. I feel like I can't. My life is so messed up. I can't have accountability. At least I can do this on the phone. Right, at least I don't feel like I got control of my own members, but at least I can come on the phone and I feel like dismembered and disconnected from something else. But even if it's virtual reality, at least I have some kind of remembership with some kind of reality. You said, is remembrance an emotional experience? That's a great question, babe. I would say, yeah, you can come back into remembrance with your emotions. I believe that you can come back into remembrance with your spirits. I believe you can come back into remembrance with your eating habits. So yeah, I would say that it can definitely be an emotional experience. You can come back to remembrance with your culture, with your beliefs, with your emotions, with your feelings, with your moods, with your effort, with your energy, with your habits. So yeah, some of us, that's a great point, that some of us need to come back into remembrance with our emotions. What did love feel like before you were jaded? Mm. Right? What did love feel like before somebody did something to you to where not only could you not forgive them, but you could never be in another relationship again because all men are evil and all women are disgusting and blah blah and all this stuff, right? Usually we would reverse that. They would say all women are vindictive and stuff like that, and all of our men are wicked and disgusting and dogs and stuff, right? You said, is it the difference between remembrance versus recall, the emotions attached? Well, recall is basically just saying, so remember, call is inviting. So a lot of us have recall to where we want to invite memories, right? But we don't want to have membership with certain things, right? Like a lot of people have the ability to give you recall of scripture. They can tell you, hey man, Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6 and 7, I was talking about the child who was born, the son that is given, government be upon his shoulders, and his name will be Wonderful Counselor, the mighty Elohim, the everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. Right? They can rattle stuff off. Hey, Isaiah chapter 43, verse 1, quoted in Romans chapter 10, verse 16, and yada, 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 right? But then remembrance, though, is when I actually come back into membership with it. A lot of people can preach a sermon better than I ever could. They have the tools to. They have the ability. I'm not ashamed to admit, like, there's people out here that could outspeak me all day, every day. Right now, I think I hold my own, you know. Right, but I know there's people who are more seasoned and polished and have more experience and can give a lot of people some of the things that they want. They look the parts, they feel the part, all that stuff, right? So people have different things that causes connectivity for them. However, when it comes to remembrance, see, I live this thing. So when I speak from it, I speak from a place of where I'm in membership with it. So somebody says, "Oh, I never saw that before." Well, it's not to say that I'm better than you or anything. It's just I'm a member. I'm a full-fledged member. It's interesting. People always want to talk about membership with SOC, which I don't really trip off of. Maybe I should more, but because I feel like we're all family, so I don't really do the whole membership. This is what you got to do. You got to take this many classes, blah blah. Sit down with this person, yada yada yada. We kind of say become a member of the family, right? But a lot of people, they want to recall versus the remembering. They want to be able to invite, just send down, download all the information and let me go ahead and speak it. But they can't speak it from a place of membership. It's like the difference in this, right? Somebody can tell you, right? Two people, or somebody can tell you, I love you, and it comes off as if they never loved you. And somebody can tell you, I love you, and it's as if they have the deepest passion. And it's not necessarily they have to say it differently. But why? Because the person who loves you, who you feel like they have the deepest passion for you, it's not just words of affirmation, but it comes with acts of service. It comes with gifts. Um, it comes with quality time. It comes with physical touch. And we've been in this. We've been in the trenches. When I couldn't, how you doing, Dennis? When I couldn't depend on anybody else, I could depend on you. So when you say you love me, I see it. Right? I see it every day. I feel it every day. You don't miss an opportunity to show your love. And even when you mess up, you don't mind for asking for forgiveness and being better, which means that you showed me love deeper than many have in my entire life, including in the family I was raised with, right? Somebody else says, I love you. They're not a bad person, but you ain't been in the trenches yet. See, we look for the recall though. We're looking for the person that is sitting there. Hey, baby girl, in the middle of everybody, it says, I love you. We're waiting for the the cinematic love. you know, we're looking for, oh man, they said it with the smooth. He didn't just say, I love you. He said, I love you. Right? Right? Stuff like that. We're waiting on that, right? But we're not looking for, man, this person down. Right? We're looking for all that, right? And so we want the recall. That's why we like the romantics, the Roman antics, right? That's why we like the stuff that happens where we have 7,000 people invited to the wedding, and maybe we'll talk to two of them after 10, 20 years, right? Say yes to the dress, but you ain't got no house. The house is going to be the membership piece. You'll be able to leave that for generations, right? But we don't think about that. Get the dress, get this, get the red carpet, get all this stuff, whatever it is. It's not red carpet, white carpet sometimes, whatever it is for you, right? We get, or make sure the train is this long. It does this? I'm not feeling this, I'm blah, blah. But you don't have no home to go into when you guys about to go into debt. Some of y'all are paying loans on your marriages, the way you pay loans on your student loans. Right? However, right, the membership would have been, am I already, is this person qualified to be a husband or wife? You said you'd rather have 5 people and don't have the debt after. Yeah. Right. But a lot of us are quick to be like, well, like I know a lot of people who've been married 2, 3 times, divorced, and can tell you all the stuff about, it was perfect lighting and we were on the ship and the moon shimmered off my face and he wore my favorite cologne and he made sure that the mariachi band was playing, and then we went into another place and I thought it was interesting because he knows that we're Spanish and he's Italian, so it was a mariachi band playing and then somebody was singing opera music. I was like, why is something operatic going on? And then I turned around and he got down on one knee and there were rose petals that were falling from the sky. I don't even know how he did it, but it looked like they were falling from the heavens. And you got to ask, like, which husband you talking about? You talking about Jerry? You talking about like Pookie? You talking about Michael? Like, I mean, which one you talking about? Like you got to ask it because it was, but they can recall that, but there's no membership. You see what I'm saying? Like, leave them something to remember. I'm not saying that's not important at all, right? But I'm saying leave them something to remember. You said I put a lot of thought into imaginary. Well, I mean, I don't know. I combined a couple of different movies to put them together, I guess, right? Matter of fact, one of them reminded me. What was that movie we were watching, babe? Or you? Yeah, we were. It's a movie where I can't remember if they're Chinese or not. It was an Asian family, where they Japanese, Chinese, Korean, whatever. And they came over, and the whole thing was basically looking at like different people's weddings, and all they were like these super rich families and all that stuff. I can't remember what it was, but I was combining different stuff. But all I'm saying is in all the stuff that we put together, right? We'll put together all this stuff, and we can recall it. We can recall all those things, but we don't have no membership. You can recall all the bad things that your spouse did, but you don't have any membership. Start leaving things that people can remember. Start focusing on things that cause you to come back in. No, I thought it was, well, I mean, it was something I wasn't necessarily worried about watching, but I ended up liking it. I don't remember the movie. I don't remember the movie. Feel like it was Netflix. I don't know, but or maybe it was Amazon. I don't know. I don't keep up with the stuff enough anymore. But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of stuff in our lives to where we're not leaving things to remember, right? I hope my son recalls a lot of stuff that I taught him. But real talk, it could have been Crazy Rich Asian. I don't know. I don't know the name of it, but regardless, I hope my son recalls a lot of stuff about me, but I really want him to have a warm feeling, even if he can't recall that I'm the one that told him this, that, whatever. How you doing, Brother Jermaine? Right? I'm hoping that, I would hope that, yes, some of you can say, Pastor Kofi taught this, and Pastor Kofi, I'll be honest, my humanity is like, yeah, I hope you'd be able to do that. It was Crazy Rich. Okay, I was like, I know, I'm pretty sure we watched something together like that, right? But in all these things, right, I want you to realize in all those things, like, I hope that there's a feeling there that says that we're one and that we were connected. You said I knew the plot, and kept telling you the movie before I ever saw it. Sorry. That used to be my thing. I used to watch movies, not rom. I don't even know. Is it a rom com or romantic comedy? I don't know. Whatever. Seemed like a dramatic I don't even know how to. But I used to watch movies all the time because now I'm interested in behind the scenes stuff. That's really whatever I was. But or that's all I was ever really interested in. Right. Hey, I see you, Sister Irena. But what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, I would hope that there's more so of a feeling that it's a place of, I feel this thing. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that I'm praise y'all that I've learned, instead of me trying to make sure that y'all remember every single thing I say, that you can regurgitate whatever I say, that you can believe, that it's become a place to where we feel like family. It's membership, right? It's membership. This is what it should be. So start leaving things that people can remember. Mothers, I promise you, as somebody who's lost their mother, I promise you, I don't recall my mother's voice, And when I get to hear it from time to time, it brings like joy to my soul. It does. But I remember her, even when I don't recall. I remember her voice, even if I don't recall it. I remember it, right? When I don't know what I'm going to do next, sometimes I know this is going to sound wild to some. My first response is not always to pray. Sometimes I hear my mother's voice. And that's what might cause me to pray, because that's what she would have done. I remember. I don't recall, but I remember. People aren't buying into what they recall; they're buying into what they remember. If you want them to buy, if you want your family to buy into your husband, let them buy into your membership. What you do as a member. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. Right? Let them see what you do as a member of this community, as a member of this nation. Yes, I went there, of this nation, because you are a holy nation. People should know the tree by the fruit it bears. You said you wish she was here. You know, it might be selfish or wrong. No, I mean it's a feeling. I promise you. Well, you know, you've seen me. You know, I feel like that a lot. You know, that's why a lot of times when elders that are our sisters speak, I shut up and listen, because every person needs that in their life, right? You know, but I remember her even when I don't recall her, right? I can't recall every time she held me in her arms, but whenever I remember her, I always feel like I'm in her arms. You see what I'm saying? Right. Even if I'm, as Kevin Hart said, if I'm snap finger famous, you know, aren't you that guy? Aren't you this and that? I get that a lot. Say something. Aren't you that guy? Go to Miami, or wherever we were, somewhere around there, right? And whatever restaurant we went to, and somebody suggested we go to when we were somewhere else. And hey, aren't I think I've seen you before, you know, blah blah. But they don't recall. They don't even recall my name. But you know what? They remember something you said, something you did, something you taught made me have to readjust of who I readdress myself. Young Simba, remember who you are. Yeah, right. Remember, right? And that's a great way to end, because we're over time and we got to get ready for class. So remember who you are, right? Remember who you are, and then leave something to remember. Praise Yah. Thank you for taking us out. We're going to go out on that. Remember who you are, and then leave something to remember. What does that mean? Once you know who you are, you buy in, and you buy into this kingdom that's inside and all this stuff. Once you remember who you are, leave something that people can have membership with. And you're an eternal being. That means that, see, watch this. I have fellowships with Dr. Light Africa still, and he's gone in the flesh, but he left something that I can remember, I can feel at peace with, I can learn how to eat correctly from. You see that? Right? Um, um, you leave, discover who you are, remember, come back into membership with who you are and whose you are, and then begin to realize that all you got to do is leave that. Sounds like I'm making it really easy, and I know it's not always the easiest thing, but I promise you it's easier to remember who you are than to always have to recall it. Right? There's so many people that come on the live sessions and they're waiting for my bona fides. Well, how do you think you know this? And where do you get this from? And I don't like this. Not like, sometimes the answer is simple. You're not my standard, because I live from where I am. I've learned that it's okay to be where I am. I've remembered. I've come back into membership with who I am, who my people are, and what the truth is. And because of that, I leave something that people can have membership with. They can have fellowship with it. Now, here's the cool part about it, right? And Shabbat Shalom to everybody. I didn't say that earlier. Thank you for saying that, right? Barakallah Chami Chava, right? Remember now I remember who I am. People can have fellowship with it, right? But also, here's the blessing as we get ready to take our leave. Do not forget that while remembering who you are, and other people can have fellowship with who you are, people have the right to not have fellowship with who you are. And that's okay. May I say that to you? It's okay when people don't want to fellowship with who you are. Don't let it discourage you from fellowshipping with yourself. Right? People might not want to fellowship with who you are and therefore what you give to your community. That's okay. Don't allow it to stop you from being who you are. People might not like that you're not doing things the way that they want you to do it, or it's not showing up on their timeline. That's okay. I love you anyhow. That has to be your mindset. That has to be your thought process. When you're okay, because watch this, when you're okay with remembering who you are, you have to forgive yourself. So why would you not forgive somebody else for what you used to? Because you didn't used to have all the faith in yourself that you have today. So forgive somebody else when they don't have no faith. You didn't used to listen to what you wanted to do. You listened to what the teacher told you to do. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have listened to the teacher at all, but hear what I'm saying. You said, I want to grow up to be a fireman. The teacher said, no. Now here you are 20 years past being able to get training saying, man, I should have became a fireman, right? You said, I wanted to be a dancer. Teacher said, no, do something realistic, right? Give yourself permission. Matter of fact, sometimes we feel like, hey, how you doing, Urban Royalty? How you doing, sis? Right? Allow me to do this, because sometimes I don't know why we need this, and really you don't need this, but sometimes you need this from somebody. So let me go ahead and give this to you, right? You shouldn't need me to do what I'm about to do. You shouldn't even listen to this for real, because you should have this within yourself. But sometimes we need this. If I can just say this, I give you permission to remember who you are, to love who you are, and not allow anybody else to stop who you are. Now, somebody goes, oh, some of y'all got it because you're like, oh, I didn't need you to do that anyways. Yeah, you're right. But some people, it seems like they need to be told it's okay to love you and to love yourself and to love your people. And love. So if you need somebody to do it, right, I give you permission to love yourself. But really, it's not me. Yahweh gave you permission before the foundation of the world to be who you are. Be who you are. Be mighty. Use your gifts. Love each other. Support each other. How you doing, Trauma Sharma? Love who you are, be you who you are, support each other, love each other because you love yourself. Honor your community because you honor yourself. Honor your elders because you honor yourself. Honor your wife because you honor yourself. Love your husband to submit to his mission. Why? Because it's the same mission for you. I give you permission to love yourself. When you learn how to love yourself, forgive yourself, and not allow yourself to get you off track, that's what discipline is. No matter what, I ain't getting on track. I got to look Kofi in the mirror some and be like, Kofi, whatever's going on, you better get this together because you know you're supposed to be doing this today. You got to talk to yourself. Sometimes you got to encourage yourself. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself and remind yourself. You got to look you in the mirror and be like, you got to give yourself the Denzel Washington treatment. You got to, I can't really do the voice, but you know what I'm saying? You got to give yourself the Denzel Washington, anything and everything that it takes to be able to make sure that I meet these requirements. I will make sure that I do it to the best of my ability because I am great. You have to talk to yourself. You got to Denzel. You love Denzel because of how he look. You got to love how you look when you pointing at yourself. Anyways, we're gonna end on a terrible Denzel impression, but that's what it is. Right? Love yourself, honor yourself, give yourself permission for real, because the Most High already gave it to you. Just walk in what it is, okay? But I appreciate you, I honor you, I thank you. I thank you for being you. And we appreciate you on this journey. My family and I are grateful to be able to be in the position that we're in, and we're grateful to just simply leave something that's worth remembering. And we admonish you, we invite you, we encourage you to do the same thing. That being said, thank you to everybody for being on. We appreciate the King, Queen, and each and every one of you. Please check out my wife, The Honorable Maya, on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish, not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She's a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. And we're very thankful and grateful for who she is and what she does for the community. So continue to support her business. Once again, her business is just making sure the health of the diaspora is her business, as it should be each and every one of ours. We're still fasting. So from today, intermittent fasting started today. We're going all the way through the sundown or 6 o'clock p.m. East or 6 o'clock your time, whatever you want to do on the 23rd. But on the 23rd, we're actually going to ask you to fast up until the evening session, and we're going to do another prayer and worship service, not praise and worship, but prayer and worship. We're just on TikTok only because we can't have the music play that we on all the platforms. So if you join us on TikTok that evening, make a choice to try, and if you can, join us on there specifically, and we'll have some music playing. And it's just gonna be music playing. You're not going to see me or hear anything from me, and we're just going to type in our prayer requests and make our prayer requests known, going right into getting the leaven out of our home so we can be prepared for Passover. All right, appreciate y'all. Oh, and as a reminder for those who are supposed to be meeting up on the Zoom call just for tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern New York time Zoom call. If you haven't gotten the link yet, I know you haven't. You should get it, but make sure if you don't get it, especially as we start getting closer to 11 a.m. tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, make sure that we know. But if you're in Georgia or the Carolinas, we're supposed to be meeting tomorrow on Zoom at 11 a.m. Eastern, New York time. And if you're in Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, Louisiana, or Kansas, or Kansas as well. I know the parameters are off a little bit, but if you're in Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, Louisiana, or Kansas, we'll be having a Zoom meeting tomorrow for you at 12:30 p.m. Eastern or 11:30 a.m. Central. All right, that's just for the Zoom meetings for tomorrow. So thank you guys. We appreciate you. We look forward to talking to you guys again very soon. And as always, it's been Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time by being a voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. And until I have the great privilege, opportunity, and responsibility of being in front of you all again, please remember, as always, just love that you are loved, you're necessary, you're majestic, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in this system no longer have to be of it. Shabbat Shalom, family, and double Shabbat, because this is Shabbat Shalom according to the world's calendar. According to our calendar, Shabbat is actually tomorrow until the repositioning of the moon again. Thank you. Take care. Peace. Thank you for the love.